How might educated people be more easily brainwashed?
Educated people might seem less likely to be brainwashed due to their critical thinking skills and access to information, but they can also be more susceptible in certain contexts. This counterintuitive idea arises because their education, confidence in their reasoning abilities, and specialized knowledge can sometimes make them vulnerable to manipulation. Here's why. 1. Overconfidence in their knowledge. Cognitive biases. Educated individuals may develop overconfidence in their ability to discern truth, making them less likely to question information from trusted sources or recognize when they're being manipulated. Trust in expertise. They may rely heavily on the authority of experts or institutions they deem credible, leaving them open to manipulation if those sources are biased or compromised. 2. Narrow focus of expertise. Specialization. Educated individuals often have deep knowledge in a specific field, but may lack a broad understanding of unrelated topics. This specialization can make them blind to manipulation in areas outside their expertise, more likely to defer to experts in fields they don't fully understand. 3. Exposure to sophisticated propaganda. Targeted messaging. Propaganda aimed at educated audiences often uses complex language, data, or appeals to intellect, which can resonate more effectively with those who value rationality and evidence. Confirmation bias. Highly educated individuals are often skilled at rationalizing their beliefs, making them more likely to interpret new information in ways that confirm their existing worldview. 4. Desire for social acceptance. Echo chambers. Educated people may be part of intellectual or professional circles where certain ideologies or perspectives dominate. To maintain their status or relationships, they may unconsciously conform to prevailing narratives. Fear of alienation. They might suppress doubts or alternative views to avoid being ostracized by peers or institutions that value conformity. 5. Sophisticated language and persuasion techniques. Manipulation through complexity. Educated individuals are more likely to engage with arguments that appear logical or data-driven, even if the data or logic is flawed. A skilled manipulator can use statistics or jargon to mislead educated audiences more effectively than uneducated ones. Appeals to identity and morality. Educated people are often highly attuned to ethical issues. Manipulators can exploit this by framing ideas in moral or intellectual terms that align with the person's values. 6. Belief in systems and institutions. Faith in established systems. Educated people often have more trust in formal institutions, e.g., governments, academia, or media, because they've benefited from them. This trust can make them less likely to critically examine institutional failures or corruption. Resistance to conspiracy theories. Educated individuals may dismiss alternative explanations as conspiratorial, even when those explanations warrant investigation. The role of cognitive dissonance. Avoiding contradiction. Educated individuals may experience greater cognitive dissonance when confronted with ideas that challenge deeply held beliefs because their identity is often tied to their intellectual framework. To resolve this discomfort, they may cling more tightly to the manipulated narrative. 8. Information overload and complexity. Paradox of choice. Educated people often consume more information, but the sheer volume can make it harder to distinguish truth from falsehood. They might default to trusted narratives as a shortcut, become overwhelmed and disengaged, making them more susceptible to simple, persuasive messages. 9. Education and propaganda are linked. Education as indoctrination. In some cases, formal education itself can be a vehicle for propaganda, especially if the curriculum or dominant academic discourse is influenced by political or ideological agendas. Critical thinking versus groupthink. While education teaches critical thinking, it can also emphasize conformity to academic or intellectual norms, discouraging dissenting perspectives. 10. Emotional and psychological vulnerabilities. Emotional appeals. Like anyone, educated individuals are vulnerable to emotional manipulation, particularly fear, shame, or hope. Appeals to these emotions can override critical thinking, even in highly educated people. Stress and fatigue. The complexities of modern life can lead educated individuals to default to trusted sources or simplified narratives when they're stressed or overwhelmed. Examples in action: corporate marketing. Advertisers often tailor complex marketing campaigns to appeal to educated consumers using statistics, expert endorsements, or sustainability claims. Political ideologies. Educated people can be deeply influenced by ideologies presented as intellectually or morally superior, even if those ideologies are flawed or extreme. How to counteract brainwashing. 1. Practice intellectual humility. Recognize that no one, regardless of education level, is immune to manipulation. 2. Seek diverse perspectives. Engage with information from a wide range of sources, including dissenting opinions. 3. Develop media literacy. Learn to identify propaganda techniques, such as emotional appeals, logical fallacies, and biased framing. 4. Stay open to self-correction. Be willing to reevaluate beliefs when presented with credible evidence. In summary, while education equips individuals with tools for critical thinking, it also creates vulnerabilities through overconfidence, specialization, and reliance on trusted systems. Recognizing these pitfalls is key to resisting manipulation.